The game I'm about to show you was actually the favorite game of Ceaușescu, the leader of communist Romania, who was overthrown in the revolution. So, the game is called Seven Cuts, or I've decided to call it that because the name is Șeptică, which doesn't really have an equivalent in English. The game is really easy, basically having two rules, 7 cuts and aces and tens are points. I'll explain what that means in just a moment, but first you won't need the full deck of cards, you will just need from 7 and up. So in this pile I have the cards from 7 and up, 7, 8, 9, 10, ace, king, queen and jack. And here I have the cards from down, 7 down, so 6, 5, 4, 3 and 2. And you can put these away, but please don't burn them, you might want to play other games. Now, once you have the cards, you will of course need to shuffle them. This game can be played in 2, 3 or 4 people, but the rules for 3 people are just a little bit different. I'll be explaining those in the end. So these are the rules basically for 2 or 4 people. Deal 5 cards to each player. I'll be explaining with 2 people, it's the same for 4. Now, one player goes first, the one that hasn't dealt or the one to the right of the one who has dealt, and they can play any card whatsoever. This is my hand, I can play any card whatsoever. It's a pretty good hand because I have 2 sevens and remember 7 cuts and I have a point. So I'll play a jack. Cutting means that that person takes the cards. So the first card is jack. The opponent can play any card of the deck. It doesn't have any kind of restrictions. He can play anything. So let's say he decides to play a queen. Because the cards weren't cut, I get to take these. However, let me watch the hand again. Okay, so he has 10. And because I took the cards, I am the first one who completes his 5 cards, and then he completes 2, and I begin. So let's say I want to play risky because I have the 2 sevens, and I'll play a point, a 10. My opponent can decide to cut by playing another 10. Again, the card down is the one who cuts that round. So he cut. Now you'd think that he takes the cards, but because another person has cut the deck, it's my turn again and I can decide to continue. And I'll cut with another 7. Now he doesn't have anything to cut with, so he'll just play an 8 and I take the point. I complete with 2 cards this time, so does he, and we continue the game. If he were to take some cards, he would be the first one to complete his hand and to put the next card down. The game basically ends when there are no cards left either in the deck or in the player's hands. Now, as you can see, that was a pretty easy game. There's a slight variation in the game of 3 because the cards need to be able to be dealt fully to 3 people. So you take 2 8s out of the deck. Just decide the first 8 that we're taking out and the second one. We won't be playing with these, but the other 2 8s will also be cutting, just like 7s all the time. It's a pretty easy game to play. As you saw, it basically has 2 rules. You are not even conditioned to put anything down like in Uno. So I hope you enjoy this and thank you for watching. Subscribe.